Hello, TAP-G. You in the studio? Can I come in? Dude, your car is parked right outside, so I know you're in here somewhere. And what did I tell you about leaving your open drinks in here? Oh, wait, that's not Coke. Drink me. Boy, that's fishy. Doesn't smell too bad. Well, bottoms up. Ugh! This is nasty. This isn't refreshing in the least. In the trash you go. Oh, TAP-G, come on. This isn't even very funny. Oh! Ow! What just happened? Hey, how'd my laptop get to be the size of a condominium?
You drank the drink me bottle, I see.
TAP-G, there you are. Wait, you drank it too?
Did you happen to see what we're reviewing today?
Yeah. The Mad Tea Party.
The Mad Tea Party. Yes, based off of Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah?
A movie where reckless young girls openly consume inviting tarts, wafers, and drinks with wanton abandon and suffer a series of mental and physical transmogrifications.
Uh-huh.
And you, the smart one, did the same.
Yes.
Come here, there's something I need to tell you.
Well, what is it? Ow! What was that for?
That's for almost stepping on me, you clumping stop hopper!
Beware the Jabberwock, my son. The jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the jump bird, and son the frumious bandersnatch.
Is that who I think it is?
I don't know, but that crescent moon looks awfully small. And close.
That's no moon.
That's the Cheshire Cat.
Oh my. It seems as though you have a little problem.
Oh, funny guy, we got a funny guy here.
Say, you wouldn't happen to know how to get us back big, would you?
Well, I suppose you could drink milk. It does a body good. Or you could eat a lot of food. I hear that gets one big, especially around the waist.
He sounds an awful lot like Winnie the Pooh, I've noticed.
Or you could do it the easy way.
Oh, and what's that?
Tall begins with T.
Yeah, and small begins with S. What's your point?
Ooh. Tiny begins with T.
So it would seem. However, if you want to return to your normal size, I'd suggest you talk to someone with hospitality.
No, don't disappear, please!
And there he goes.
TAP-G, go online and look up anything that might have to do with what the Cheshire Cat was talking about. I'll get this review going.
Roger, Captain Chief Lieutenant.
Sorry for the delay, folks. I guess you could say we have a small problem on our hands. Anyway, today we're looking at the whirling teacups of gastrointestinal discomfort themselves, the Mad Tea Party, aka the Teacups. But to make this interesting, we need to look into the film itself, Alice in Wonderland.
With Johnny Depp?
No, the 1951 animated classic. From the get-go, since it was first suggested in 1939, Alice was a very troubled production. Aside from too much material, sporadic poems and songs, and nonsensical plot points, Walt Disney found his staff had little wiggle room for creativity. He called it a temper-proof classic where fans will be upset no matter what. When it was released in August of 1951, it
tanked. Big time.
Yeah. So how did it come to be the classic we have come to know and love? In a word, the 70s. Both Alice and Fantasia were originally box office bombs during their original releases, but when re-released in the 1970s, the psychedelic nature of the movies was at last appreciated. Affiliate whatever you want with the book, the movie, or the time period, but this movie remains a great Disney film with a great tribute to the human imagination. So why did the Teacups become opening day rides at Disneyland in 1955 and at Walt Disney World in 1971? Well, it's hard to say for sure, but it's believed that such a whimsical Wonderland setting was far too tempting not to put in Fantasyland, especially given that only 15 Disney animated films had been released by 1955. And the Teacups proved so popular, they had to be brought to Florida.
Got it!
Found something?
Look at this. Talk to the cat, call the hat. Mad Hatter's tea delivery service for all occasions. Hospitality Fortuosity, and Growth Tea, available for unbirthdays.
I'll give him a call. You take over.
Roger Wilcox. Like the Disneyland version, the Magic Kingdom's teacups opened without a roof, or the giant teapot in the center. What happened? Well, quite simply, Florida's sporadic and intense weather. In 1973, the roof and the teapot in the center were added, and save for a few minor changes over the years, the Mad Tea Party has remained relatively the same. Even those topiaries outside the attraction of Alice, the Mad Hatter, and the March Hare have been there a while. And if you're checking those out, make sure you take the time to read the plaque containing a quote by Randy Pausch. Pausch was a former Disney Imagineer before he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer and published his uplifting book, The Last Lecture. Pausch passed away in 2008.
Well, the March Hare said he'll be here at the time he arrives. So, yeah. Where are you exactly?
Existentially, no clue. Physically, next to you. On the script, the Randy Pausch quote.
Alright. Usually at this point we discuss the ride experience, but let's face it, what's to describe? Once in your teacup, either sit back and let the cup rotate slowly, or grab that silver turntable in the middle and just go nuts. Just hold on to your stuff, or your sunglasses and hats will fly like Dumbo.
Yay! Discussion time!
Now, one thing I did want to note about the teacups is that a lot of other rides are compared to this ride. I guess it's
because it's a classic, right?
Well, either that or it's maybe just an archetype. But a classic ride for sure, yes.
Okay, well, here's the things I like about it.
Okay.
It's fun. I like spinning, and I like being on all three turntables as you're spinning around.
Well, aren't visual experiences a part of what theme park rides are all about?
Essentially, yes. And here they cover it with all sorts of bright, colorful paint and pastel colors and a couple of Chinese lanterns and the dormouse popping up in the center.
The outside and the inside of this ride do look pretty spiffy.
Yeah, I even like the brand new FastPass Plus queue they just added in Magic Kingdom.
That's pretty cool.
Unfortunately, it's not without its flaws.
Sure.
Like, for example, I can totally get that it's just a teacup ride and there's not much more you can add to it. But for one thing, Alice's voice when you enter the teacups and get off is so muffled. It sounds like it was done in the 70s and hasn't been updated since.
Huh. Do you think they could call her in to do it again?
Well, let's bear in mind that Catherine Beaumont is 75 now, and yes, Catherine Beaumont is still the voice of Alice in Wonderland. She even came back for the Kingdom Hearts video games.
And the remakes.
And House of Mouse.
That is something.
Not bad for someone who was doing it back in 1951. And let's not forget those jarringly loud breaks as soon as the ride stops. That chonga.
Yeah, I did notice that recently.
A lot of people cover their ears as soon as it starts going loud. It's like, yeah, why? I get that the brakes need to stop, but does it have to be that loud?
I don't know. Maybe they haven't updated their brake system in a while either. Get the voice updated, update the brakes, and
maybe even add a little more theming.
Yeah, the ride's not really that intricately themed, and what really can you do with it?
Yeah, that's the only downside. Not to mention a lot of people will be like, theme it all you want, cloak it all you want, it's still a teacup ride.
But it's still a teacup ride, it's a classic Disney attraction.
Mm-hmm.
Although I guess you could kind of add a thinly veiled story where you have to, save this group of superheroes or something.
Oh, save the X-Men or something?
Yeah, that's another story for another time, though, I think. But in any case, yeah, it's a teacup ride. There's really not that much to it, not much you can do with it. I'm going to go ahead and have to give this a 2.5 out of 5. While I do find it fun, there's just not much to it.
Mm-hmm. Other than just for the sake of being a classic.
Exactly. What are your thoughts?
I have to agree with you. It's a fun ride, and it's a cute stop. It's cute, I think, is a good way to sum it.
Yes.
Considering that, this is Wonderland, it's one of the best known and most exotic set pieces made in any Disney movie. It's kind of a shame that it never really took off anywhere. Except for the Alice in Wonderland ride in Disneyland, and here it's just kind of like, here's something with spirals and pastel colors. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
So I give it a 3.5 out of 5. A good ride, a great diversion, and sometimes the line's just a little too long for the teacups, but Why not?
Yeah, anything more than 15 minutes, I usually don't wait for it.
Yeah.
But we'll see what impact that Fast Pass Plus has on this.
Yes, totally.
Cool. So that's a 2.5 out of 5 from SurferClock and a 3.5 out of 5 from TAP-G. Who is it?
Did somebody call for a cup of tea?
Yes, come in. Come in, we're right over here.
Oh my goodness, my badness too! You've been tinyified!
Could you bring the tea down here, please? And be careful not to spill it on the laptop.
Or us, for that matter.
That'll be 32.62.
You take shrunken money?
Not unless it's been adjusted for inflation.
Well then, let's drink up.
Whoa! Oh, much better. I knew we'd size this up sooner or later. Were you just talking about the teacup ride? Please continue, and when you get to the end, stop.
Sure, thanks. The Mad Tea Party is accessible for those who can transfer out of their wheelchairs and scooters. And as with all Disney attractions, children must be at least 7 years old to go solo, and if not, they need to ride with someone at least 14 years old. Each cup can hold up to 5 people.
This ride is as classic Disney as it gets. If you're easily made dizzy, this may not be the ride for you. But the good news is, you can control how fast you can go by use of the silver turntable in the middle. Otherwise, everyone should go spin on the teacups. Oh, how splendid! Be sure to join us in a cup of tea, if you have the time. The time! The time! Who's got the time? Oh, no time! No time! I'm late! Hey, what's going on?
I say, how are you getting along?
You! Oh, you started all this. I'm gonna shake you into a kitten, I will. I'm gonna shake. Milkshake. Kitten.
TAP-G. TAP-G. TAP-G!
Whoa, what?
Wake
I'm
up!
awake. I'm awake. What?
TAP-G, why were you shaking my arm?
How do you do? And shake hands and shake hands and shake.
Very
How do you
funny. Now, come on, we're reviewing the teacups.
The time has come to talk of other things. Of shoes and ships and sealing wax and cabbages and kings. And why the sea is boiling hot and, whether pigs have wings. Kaloo, Kalay, teacups today. We're
TAP-G!
coming!